Welcome back to our channel, dear viewers. Today's story is an intriguing tale of family, mystery, and the unexplained. Before we dive in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified of new content. We are now turning your comments into creepypasta prompts. Stick around till the end to hear them. Isabella's secret is a gripping enigma that we can't wait to unravel, and we know you won't be able to look away either. Let's dive right in and discover the secrets that lie within. So, there's this old portrait hanging in my living room. It's been there ever since I inherited it from my grandmother, who passed away a few years back. She never told me much about it, and I never thought to ask her. But you know, there's always been something a bit off about it. The portrait is of a woman, and I have no idea who she is. She has this serene expression on her face, but her eyes are kind of unnerving. They seem to follow you around the room, no matter where you stand. And sometimes, when it's really quiet and I'm alone, I could swear I see her lips moving, like she's trying to say something to me. It's so weird, right? I've asked friends and family if they know anything about the portrait or the woman, but nobody has a clue. She's like this total mystery. I even tried searching for the painting and its origins online, but I came up empty-handed. Honestly, I don't know if the woman in the portrait is a ghost or just my imagination playing tricks on me, but sometimes it feels like she's watching me. Even so, I still keep the portrait hanging in my living room. I've kind of grown used to her presence, and in a strange way, her mysterious gaze has become comforting. Sometimes I still hear whispers and catch glimpses of movement out of the corner of my eye, but I don't feel scared anymore. Actually, I've even started talking to the woman in the portrait, as if she's a long-lost friend. I don't know if she can hear me or understand me, but it doesn't matter. She's become a part of my life, a silent witness to my ups and downs. And who knows, maybe one day I'll finally uncover her secrets and give her the voice she's been waiting for. So, years went by, and I never managed to figure out who the woman in the portrait was. But then, one day, something really strange happened. I was just strolling through this flea market, not really looking for anything in particular. But then, suddenly, I saw this painting that stopped me dead in my tracks. It was another portrait of a woman, and I couldn't believe it. She looked exactly like the woman in the portrait hanging in my living room. What were the odds? I had to know more, so I asked the seller where the painting came from. He told me that it had been found in an abandoned house on the outskirts of town. He didn't know anything about the woman in the painting, but I just had this gut feeling that I was onto something. I bought the painting right then and there, and I couldn't wait to get home to compare it to the portrait in my living room. When I finally got home and put the two paintings side by side, I noticed something I hadn't seen before. In the corner of the new painting, there was this tiny inscription. It was really hard to read, but I could just make out a name, Isabella. That was all I had to go on, but it was enough. I became obsessed with finding out more about her. I started digging through old archives, scouring the internet, and asking everyone I knew if they had ever heard of a woman named Isabella. And finally, after months of searching, I found her story. Isabella was a socialite in the early 1900s, known for her stunning beauty and her many lovers. She disappeared mysteriously in 1942, and her body was never found. No one knows what happened to her, but I have this feeling that she's been with me all along, watching and waiting for someone to uncover her secrets. And now that I know who she is, I feel like I can finally give her the voice she's been seeking all these years. So, life took an unexpected turn, and I found myself having to move to a new place. As I was packing up my things, I decided it was time to take a closer look at the original portrait of Isabella, especially now that I knew her name. As I carefully examined the painting, I noticed something odd about the woman's eyes. There was this glint of light, almost like a reflection, that seemed to be coming from deep within the painting itself. That's when it hit me. Maybe there was something hidden behind the canvas, something Isabella was trying to show me all this time. With a mix of excitement and apprehension, I carefully removed the painting from the wall and turned it over. And that's when I saw it, a small, worn envelope tucked behind the canvas. It was old and yellowed with age, and it had this faint fragrance of roses, like a memory of a long-ago summer. My hand shook as I carefully opened the envelope and unfolded the letter inside. As I read the elegant script, I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. The words on the page were filled with love, longing, and a sense of loss. My dearest mother, as I sit down to write this letter, my heart is heavy with the weight of the world. I have seen things that I never thought possible, and I fear that my time on this earth may be short. But even in the midst of this darkness, my thoughts turn to you. You have been my rock, my guiding light, and my source of strength. I am grateful for every moment that we have shared together, and I pray that we will have many more. If I do not return from this war, please know that I love you more than words can express. You have always been there for me, and I will carry your love with me always, no matter where my journey takes me. As I got to the end of the letter, my eyes widened in shock. It was signed by a man whose name was all too familiar to me, my grandfather, who had passed away many years ago. I couldn't believe what I was reading. The woman in the portrait was my great-grandmother, whom I had never known. And the letter was written to her after my grandfather left for the war, never to return. Suddenly, everything clicked into place. The chills, the whispers, the movements I'd seen out of the corner of my eye. It was all her way of telling me her story, her way of reaching out to her family from beyond the grave. I felt a sense of heartbreak for the life that Isabella could have had if only circumstances had been different. But at the same time, I felt a sense of comfort, knowing that she was still with us in some way, watching over us and guiding us from the other side. As I looked at the portrait one last time before packing it away, I saw Isabella's eyes staring back at me with a newfound clarity, as if she was finally at peace. And even though I was moving away, I knew that her spirit would continue to be a part of my life, an eternal connection to the past that I would never forget. And there you have it, the conclusion to the mysterious and poignant tale of Isabella's secret. We hope you enjoyed this AI-generated short story and that it left you with a sense of connection to the past and the mysteries it may hold. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more captivating stories like this one. It's time to turn our attention to some of your terrifying creations. We've received some fantastic submissions. Let's explore one of our viewers' creepypasta prompts. Sometimes, our deepest fears can manifest in the strangest ways. Imagine waking up in the dead of night, drenched in sweat, only to find that you've soiled yourself. Panic sets in as you realize that you've been sleepwalking, but you can't remember where you've been or what you've done. Your mind races, trying to piece together the forgotten moments, as the terror of the unknown takes hold. What dark forces could have driven you to such a state? The answer may be lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike again. Sleep tight, and beware the unknown. Sometimes, the pursuit of otherworldly experiences leads us to the edge of reality. Imagine a chance encounter with a stranger who shares a rare, mystical blend with you. As the smoke dances through your lungs, you find yourself pulled into a hidden dimension where time and space blur together. In this realm, the laws of physics no longer apply, and you're free to explore the infinite possibilities of existence. As you traverse the mind-bending landscape, you catch glimpses of ghostly figures and ancient creatures that seem to be watching your every move. Are they guardians of this mysterious plane or something more sinister? With each passing moment, the boundary between your world and the strange dimension grows more fragile. Will you find your way back, or become a permanent resident of this eerie, enigmatic realm? Sleep tight, and remember, some journeys take us further than we ever intended.